sometime.
You should try the game out.
To try out this game, I have 1,200 hours on. Sounds like a great time.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump that up.
I have yet to try it.
You know, I will say I hit these numbers during the pandemic.
Since then, things have gotten really slow.
Well, you can go outside now.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. All right, here we go. It is the. I don't even know how to say what I wrote here. Anyway, it's the day after the 1st of May, in 2024.
So it's May 2nd.
The second.
No, that's not what I wrote though. I wrote turned. I think.
It is day after yesterday.
Second.
This is episode 232 of the Loose Screws podcast for May Toured 2024.
It's 3310.
Oh, 10. Wow, wow, wow.
Stop.
Sometimes I try to line it up with that.
It's just a duet at that point.
So
It's
close.
just- yeah, it's really sound. It sounds.
It was so
sounds great.
fun to hear you do that, like the first 10 times.
I can't wait for the 11th.
Well. I'm Commander Jay Antrax, and I am joined tonight by Commander Audaxius
Hello.
and Commander Lark Shadow.
I've got so much sodium in me, I could cure a ham.
And Commander Teflon.
I really picked a bad time to not bring the soundboard because with all those salt sound effects I have.
Mm-hmm.
Salt is a way of life.
The walls are salt. Ceiling is salt. The air is
That's
salt.
pretty good, Audaxius.
He's got the voice, man.
Yeah, he's got it.
There's more to come.
Boy, the head he
and
put on that microphone is really paying its dues
Christ.
now.
And then one more. Also, Commander Oblivious.
Representing the boomers of Loose Screws.
Isn't that all of us?
Isn't-
The ones that haven't died yet.
I mean,
Oh, God, you made me
Nurgle's like
squeak.
Nurgle's like 3 generations behind you, so I mean, you're probably still okay.
That's it. I'm the oldest one here.
The recent changes made, I'm sure, are going to push a lot of people over the edge.
Most definitely.
I don't know why that took me a second.
Oh, we
Well-
are on it today.
We are on it. Well, how's everybody been doing this past week of fun and delightful joy? I'm going to start at the top with Audaxius.
Quick, everybody go at once.
Oh,
I could
man.
I could just sing the theme song again. I've been loving it. I have been trying to figure out the supercharge overcharge drive, and
Oh,
I
yes, the
cannot.
super overcharge drive.
I cannot do it. I'm having a ton of fun, and I can't figure it out. That's been my time in game, is racing back and forth between stations and trying to figure out when do I hit the button to actually not overshoot, and I have not done it yet. But no, game's going good, life's going good. I'm doing great.
Lovely. Mr. Lark Shadow, you're a mister today. What's up with that?
Yes, I don't know, to be honest. I don't feel like I'm worthy of being that regaled. But anyways,
Mr. Lark Shadow is his dad.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. The past week in Elite's actually been really freaking good. I've been taking part in all kinds of BGS bullcrap, and it's just been a blast. And with all the news, there's just been so much talking about it, and hype and unhype and anti-hype, and it's just all over the place, and I am loving every minute of it.
Anti-hype.
Unhype.
Well, if you combine hype and anti-hype, you actually get enough salt that you can power a nuclear reactor.
I thought if you combined anti-hype and hype, it would just cancel each other out.
Yeah, that's just an explosion.
No, that's quantum
Doesn't it-
stuff. We're talking
doesn't it-
forms here.
Destroy the universe?
Depends how much of it you have.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Well, going down the list still, how about you, Trex?
Oh, me. I've also been playing Elite lately. There was a bunch of BGS wars going on, and I don't know, got a hankering, I guess, turned on Elite a lot more than I had been, and dug out the old Mamba and
Oh yeah.
played. Because if you feel like this is just me, but if you feel like you haven't played Elite in a while, it's probably because you just forgot that the Mamba exists. Just dig that girl out, take her nice,
So
sleek,
good.
wide body out into the conflict zone, try out all kinds of different guns. Yeah, so that's what I did. All the wars have now dried up, and now I don't know what to do. So I'm just going to drift
Now
around
you-
my
now
character
you-
and record a podcast.
Now you tell her that you'll call her, and then you
Right.
go about your life as if it never happened.
Right.
Gotta go back. Yeah, gotta
And then
sneak
shoot.
out.
And then the Mamba will go back to the station and wonder why you haven't called or texted,
Start asking people about me.
and then start asking people about you. Maybe get one of her girlfriends to go watch you where you work.
Oh shit.
Well, that escalated fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of not calling or texting, how about you,
This-
Steph?
This is one of those 90s movies.
Oh, frick. Sorry, that
Go
felt
on,
mean.
Teff. How have you been doing?
I'm fine.
What's up, dude?
I've been playing Manor Lords. So
Oh, I saw
heard a
that
lot
in
about that.
in a
How's-
list somewhere.
yeah, it's made by one guy. He's been working on it for about 7 years. It's published by Hooded Horse Entertainment. It's currently in early access, but it's really super good. It's got 3 kind of game modes. It's a medieval city builder, but it also has combat similar to Total War. And so like one of the scenarios, the default scenario that I'm in is you have your plot of land that you're the lord over, and you just kind of have to make sure you keep building barrages for peasants to move into, and that's how you get your population to keep going up, as you have vacancies for people to come move in, and then you start building, based on resources there. So, you might want to build a logging camp and then a sawmill, or I forget the unit or the building unit, but it says it's for making firewood. To make sure all the village has heat and stuff for when the winter months come, or when at night. You have to build things, storage houses for food, and make farms and things like that. And you also have to equip your peasants with weapons so that you have a militia formed in case of bandits, or in case the Baron starts moving troops into your land.
As one does.
But can you eat the Pope?
There is no Pope in this game for me to eat.
I'm disappointed.
Aw.
Kind of
Popeless game.
sounds like Odyssey.
But it's really fun to play. It's a fun city builder. You can actually there's a button you can hit that it zooms you in, and you're actually able to walk around in third person as your lord character around your little village or your town or your city that you've built. And you can hear the peasants having conversations, things like that. You can eavesdrop
Nice.
on what they're saying. It's really, really neat.
Immersion.
And this is like the most wish listed game on Steam, I believe I read.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like 4 million people have it on their wish list. I
Dang.
didn't buy it on Steam. I'm playing it on Game Pass. But I will eventually get it on Steam because I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to want to throw money to it. And it's a developer.
Is that what you
of
do
one.
when you enjoy things?
Yeah.
Oh wow, interesting. More on that after the fold.
When
I
you
guess.
enjoy things, you give the developer money so that they can keep making good things that you like.
No.
I mean, why do you think I have Shovel Knight on every platform I own, or I buy Mass Effect? I even bought the Mass Effect games on a console I didn't own.
I think you might be going too far, but I understand your point.
Now, when I jump
My
in,
orcs.
I jump in with both feet first, baby.
I like this man's ambition.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You
Very
ain't the
cool.
first one.
Okay. Oblivious, what's new in your neck of the woods?
Well, I've been wanting to get out to the Spire sites and join in on some of the coordinated/uncoordinated Orthrus bashing, but the
Mhm.
BGS keeps calling me back, so that's where I've been all week, is just maintaining screw space, jumping here and there, enjoying listening to you test your Mamba out on the various CZs.
It was very
If
good.
anyone wants to see why Trax was testing stuff, go scroll up in the outfitting channel. Me and him had a big old tested discussion about burst lasers and the pros and cons thereof.
Mhm.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
there's
did
lots
some
there's
wild
lots of-
stuff.
There's lots of jokes to be made here about wild stuff and testing, experimentation, maybe getting
Yeah.
the Lark Shadow involved there with you. Sounds like things got pretty freaky with that Mamba. No wonder she's looking for you.
Yeah.
Like left.
Yeah. She loved it. Anyway. Fantastic. Wonderful. Yes, we did experiment with huge burst lasers. And they're bad, turns out. But I gave it the college try.
That's never happened before.
Long story short,
I tried.
It's
I'm
quite
sorry.
the TLDR.
I'm sorry.
Here is
Do I give you money?
it's like the long range cannon. They're like the long range cannon of the laser world.
I'm so sorry. It's never happened before. I'm just tired. I swear.
The
I got a
whole war to
headache.
figure that out.
Oh, frick.
It's been a long day.
You
I've
know,
worked
it's like
overtime.
I could do a big long explanation, but the bottom line is the only thing that's interesting about burst lasers is the inertial impact special effect, and the only way to use that is at extremely close range, and all of the other lasers do a better job of everything except the Cyto Scrambler. So basically the Cyto Scrambler is the only burst laser you should consider. Anyway, that's it. It
That's what
does
she said.
literally, it almost does as much damage as the huge burst laser when they're all fully engineered.
That is also what she said.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Anyways, I've drifted too far from my carrier while I was watching my beautiful Mamba. By the way, this paint job, that I have on here was the one that's on the stream drops right now. Twitch stream drops for anybody watching, people who are streaming Elite. I forget what it's called anyway, but it's very brightly colored. It looks
Bring something.
fantastic on the Mamba.
You get
Take
that
some
for free.
screenshots. We'll have a screenshot off because I'm out here taking screenshots with my FDL.
Yes, it was totally for free, just for watching the streams on Twitch. And it looks great. Also, the highest gloss paint I've ever seen in this game. I'm sitting out here in the shadow of a planet, and I can see the star field reflecting off the surface of the Mamba. It's wild. Anyway.
That's pretty cool. I'll give you that.
It is cool. Okay, so there's actually a bunch of nonsense to talk about, but before we do that, let's talk about our own personal local nonsense with Squad Update. What do you say? I don't have sounds effects right now because our soundboard lost their security certificate.
So why does ever since Chig and Ty did it before, everybody who comes on here thinks they're a fucking soundboard.
Excuse me. Hold on.
That's
I got
my
this one.
literal middle name.
I got this one. Okay. Squadron update.
That did sound a lot like Chig.
At any rate, I'll go ahead and do the squad update.
I'm
We're
in
not going to let
I'm in
Oblivious do it?
I'm in a
Okay,
surly
go for it,
mood.
Oblivious.
Oh, okay. Well, chicks are coming in at around 7:30 Central Time, which we're using as a flimsy excuse for us getting out the standing orders at around 9 p.m. per day. Hey guys, 6 Andromeda expanded. It landed in Uchagan, which is the way we say that in the South.
Excuse you.
Bless you.
And we're not planning on taking control there. We're just planning on sitting quietly in the corner and hope they ignore us.
So bring popcorn to Uchagan.
Loose Screws is finally departing Calarum. Why it took this long, I have no idea. But PE is trying to just root out all the non-native factions in an attempt to cleanse that system, and we're supporting it. So don't worry about Calarum leaving. We're glad to get out of there.
And good luck, Poon.
Kalaway. Again, that's how we say it in the South. I don't know. It's under new management. That new management would be us. The elections of MCC 858 and the wars for TT 58-343 and Xians have all been completed and or won. Operation Red Dawn, I think we introduced that last week. This is
was it explained on the show?
I'm not
It was
sure. I
not.
don't remember. Okay,
Okay.
so we've had we believe some dark forces have taken over the After Dark initiatives that's
No
out there, and using them
Their smoldering corpse.
exactly, using them as a proxy to create a lot of havoc for us, creating a lot of CZs. We'd rather not be fighting. We'd rather be paying attention to other portions of our space. So we're striking back with a coordinated effort. ADI's leadership does know that we're doing this. We're going out and denying certain systems access to res sites and bounties in order to try to calm the systems down a bit. So that's an ongoing effort. And we have our normal collection of systems overheating and systems needing beatdown, all of which you can see on our SO, which is the abbreviation for standing orders. Lots going on. Get involved. All the details can be found on the standing orders channel, and you can discuss and ask questions and get involved on the Loose Screws Factions channel in our Discord.
Good job.
Fantastic. Loved it. Okay. Galnet update. There was none. Easy. All right.
Yup.
Going. There have been no.
It's on rain.
Yeah. There's no Galnets. So Thargoid War update. No change. Just keep doing spire sites around Hadad. If you want to know exactly which spire site is being preferred at the moment, because they are working their way through them strategically to get the most impact, because spire sites do impact the control systems that are within range of a spire site up to 85%. So basically, if there's a cloud of control systems around a spire site, you can hammer that spire site and do a bunch of damage and kill Orthruses there until all of the control systems around it are 85% complete, and then you go to each of those systems and finish them off. Right? Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, got it.
So anyway, I didn't bother to check out which one they're working on. That hasn't been my focus right now, but please feel free to do so. And if somebody wanted to throw together an event, I'd be happy to join. Haven't been to a spire site in a while.
Noted.
It would be cool to mop up all of the banshees and then just go to task, go to town on these things. So anyway, good money in that.
Yeah,
we're moving. We're cruising through these podcast topics. Keep rolling.
Yeah, spire
Well,
sites are basically missile everything that moves and then go down and turn elite into a collect them all game.
Yeah, so we would basically, the banshees don't respawn, so you would kill all the banshees with missiles, and then from there, as long as somebody's holding the instance open the whole time, as long as there's always somebody there for people to go to wait while people reload and stuff like that, you've got a banshee free instance.
Nice.
And that's that. And technically now you can technically modify guardian weapons such as the original plasma chargers and shard cannons to withstand the Orthrus anti-guardian pulse, it would be possible to use like large plasma chargers against Orthrus, which are slow moving enough that it would be easy to hit them. So if somebody wanted to spend the mats to do that, it's not really more damage than AX missiles, but I don't know, whatever.
We need to go do this. If only we had an event coordinator.
If only.
If only we had 3.
This is where the soundboard crickets need to go.
You're right.
Crickets. Anyway,
Chirp,
dev
chirp.
news. The majority of stuff is going to go in this segment. So dev news.
I have,
Salt is a way of life.
and I have a rant I want to go
The
through.
floor
that-
salt, the ceiling
as soon as
salt,
you go through the first item, if that's
even
okay.
the air we're breathing
Okay.
is salt.
You
So-
constantly taste the salt.
You constantly you're just living in salt. So there is here. I'm going to I put these slightly in an order that I don't agree with now that I see it off on the page. But here's what's happening. Yesterday, the Elite Dangerous partner content creators got access to a new beta server that has the Python Mark II in it, and it's, they're able to play around with it on streams and do things like that. So we've gotten to see what's going to happen to us come May 7th, and then eventually August 7th. As far as that ship is concerned, it is a separate fork of the game universe. So in that game universe, Oya is still alive, which is funny.
That
Anyway,
actually is hilarious.
They've been doing that. So we know about the ship now. But I don't know. For some reason, I thought there was a lot of that ship stuff to talk about, but I stuck this Arc Store thing at the top. All right, let's go with it because that otherwise we'll be ending the show with this, and we don't want to do that. So here's the thing. So today, somebody noticed, and it was brought to my attention kind of in the afternoon here, but the changes that they said were coming as far as price refreshes were coming through the cosmetic store. So that started to happen today, and generally everything's gone up. Some of the really cheap skins seem to have gone up kind of a lot, like maybe 3 or 4 times their cost, but they were really cheap before. Other things went up, a little by, 20% or something like that. I didn't really take a survey of the whole thing, but prices for cosmetics have gone up. Apparently Lark has a rant. I see no reason to postpone this any longer.
So I was keeping track of both our general chat and the Burrs general chat and basically every other Elite Discord's general chat today and just taking it all in. And I have a few things to say. All right, commanders, you pretentious purse string clutchers out there need to stop your ships and listen. Consider this a hyperdiction of your train of thoughts. I hear there's many of you out there that have been crying for months, nay, years, for Frontier to monetize the game more. You've been saying things like, if they want to survive, they should sell more things for ARCs, more paint job. Why doesn't the Asp Scout have a ship kit? And here we are today, Frontier monetizing the game more. Prices have gone up a bit, and more things are going to be available from the ARC store, and we're going to even see pre-built ships now that'll help commanders skip a few steps in engineering and unlocks. And are you happy? No. Instead, there's cries of pay to win, pay to play, pay to this, pay to that. They give you the very thing you wanted, and you complain. You think I don't see your master plan? No. I see it. I see it with 25 inches from the sun enhanced vision. And you know what you don't see? You are part of my master plan. That's right. My master plan is the emperor to your king, the president to your council member, the bigger fish. You're going to complain, and you're going to throw enough salt on the forums in order to make it inhospitable to life. But in the end, I see what you'll do. You'll buy that ARCs, you'll buy that chip kit, and you'll like it. You'll like it real good. You think you fooled me? You cannot fool the fool that is already more foolish than the fools can even fool. You can't outfool me. I fly an Asp Scout. See you in the ARC store. Lark out.
When did you write that?
About 5
Because while
minutes
we
ago.
were doing intros.
That was from the heart, man.
Well done. Couldn't have
Boom.
said it better. Ah.
Feel
Love
free
y'all.
to the peanut.
That was
peanut
a great
gallery.
time to join in the podcast.
Yeah, welcome Grover Kiwi.
Oh, wait, Grover.
So in the
Uh.
future, has this all blown over?
No, there's just more salt.
Oh,
Yay.
man.
Salt
So
for the salt
anyway,
mines.
So what's our thoughts, everybody? Let's break it down here.
So some
It's-
things have gotten more expensive, and I think, the prices could probably come down on some of the just single color paints and whatnot. But generally, I'm okay with this. I think it's fine.
I feel that it's another like dyed in the wool example of people's pre-made opinions, and they just throw out catchphrases that sounded good to them at the moment, and zero of it has context. This game is a decade old. There's a bunch of suits in an office at Frontier that could have gone a million different ways trying to milk revenue out of this, which they need to. Remember all the game releases they had that went bad? They could have gone any number of ways, and they picked a way that in no way influences gameplay. They could have done anything. They're not getting a new influx of players. This game has a very niche community. Odyssey's release went bad. There's still the kind of tarnished reputation that goes with that. They needed to milk more money out of the game, and they picked a way that doesn't affect your game. I'm sorry. They're crocodile
voluntary.
tears. It's totally
They
voluntary.
picked a voluntary way.
They
No. Everybody knows red paint jobs make your ship go faster. This is clearly paid a win.
Except the only my favorite joke from this whole thing is that the Type 6 pre-buy, someone's like, no, that pre-build for the Type 6, that's pay to lose.
Oh, I thought that one wasn't even that bad. The AX one's really bad.
AX is pay to lose because you're gonna have to rebuild it. You're not gonna get any money. It's crocodile
Maybe that's
tears.
the plan.
Yeah, I just
maybe.
when I started playing Elite was my first like big video game for me to get into. I remember learning about microtransactions and feeling morally offended. And I would like to think that I've not softened on that, but it's just looking at this game they continue to invest in. They cannot. A company is not going to run a live service game as a money pit. They can't afford it. So they could, again, just a little context, people. They could have gone any direction. They went with this one. Even if you don't like it, then just don't do it and shut up. Thank you.
So let me ask you this: who here has been playing the game since? Who's been playing the longest? When did you guys start?
Now I need to go check.
I first started in 2015.
85.
I left for a bit. But like, who's been playing Elite Dangerous the longest?
2018.
Okay, 2018. All right. Well, that's fine.
I think
beginning
I'm
of
in there too.
2018 for me.
I was a couple of months. I was a few months before the core mining update and like the Phantom and the Crate Phantom and the Mamba. I was a little bit before those came in.
I came in during the Horizon season pass fiasco.
So, how much have you spent? How much of real money have you dropped in this game in that amount of time?
I'd rather not think about it.
Because
$100 maybe?
I play Paradox games, and there's a game that came out in 2016 called Stellaris. You've probably heard me talk about it. Stellaris, Paradox releases a lot of expansion packs for their games, and Stellaris is no exception. And I buy every one of them that comes out as they come out. And you all can attest to this because you've seen, like, you've seen me stream it.
Yep.
If you buy all the Stellaris DLC together, it is $371.75. So that is how much money I have put into this game beyond the initial asking price for the game itself. Have you put in that much money into Elite Dangerous beyond the asking price?
No.
At this point, I probably have, but I also make bad decisions and am impulsive.
The
so I
point
might not be
is
the best.
they could easily do this model and add drip feeded content and charge money for it over time.
Yeah.
But they're doing cosmetics which don't affect the gameplay at all, which, let me tell you, every expansion that comes out for Stellaris comes out with an update that changes the gameplay in some way, right? And if you don't have that expansion, then you don't get the full effects of that entire gameplay. You can still play the game, but you don't get to experience the full.
You miss out on that part.
You miss out on a lot.
Yeah. So
that's an example I would use for this. Is, it could be way worse. I mean, look at this past week. The the developers of what's that game? Escape from Tarkov have been absolutely dragged through the gravel and the mud. Rightfully so, because they charge. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but they made a $250 bundle kind of payment thing that does affect gameplay. It gets you better queues for matches. It gets you
Ooh.
better.
I've seen the hubbub about
It gets
that.
you start games boosted in levels.
Nope.
It gets to where you don't part of the game mechanics in that game is when you die, you drop your stuff and you can loot that, and if you kill somebody, you can loot their body for better stuff. When you come back from the dead, you didn't lose your stuff. If you that is a major and like there's more to it than just this, but that's
mobile game levels.
I have never seen a game developer shoot themselves in the foot quite so bad. And
if they'd started that way, you can't add that after the fact. If they'd started that way, it might have been different. But
the cherry on top is they sold edition of the game called the EOD edition, and the people who bought that, one of the things that you were buying was you get all future downloadable content because you bought that edition.
Wasn't included, was it?
That was not included. Now, they have walked that back for the EOD players, but they are like they still have not. They're still like doubling down on their and quadrupling down on their initial choices, and it's going to kill that game, and it will probably kill that developer.
God. I mean, just keep in mind, if you're going to gripe about the monetization, there's a version of the game that they're not investing in anymore. It's called legacy mode. So if that's what you want, they are even providing that for you. So go have fun in your dead shopping mall of legacy mode. Go hang out. Half the stores are shuttered and it's eventually going to get torn down. Go have fun over there, please.
Legacy mode was free to anyone who had the game on console. I mean, they even gave you a free copy of it, and you won't have to see any of the cosmetics everybody else paid too much for. You won't see anybody.
Yeah. This show and the people on it, we are no strangers to roasting FDev. But
not for this.
They tend to deserve it when we do, and this is an occasion where we have to be on their side of this because it's just cosmetics.
Yeah, and to add to what they're looking and what they're advertising that they're putting into the game, they're not drip feeding us trinkets. They're adding new ships in the game, but they didn't have to retool power play. They didn't even, my God, before I sound like too much of a white knight, they didn't even have to do the whole Thargoid War. They have put toys into the sandbox that are not like a flash in the pan thing. This new power play thing could add actual years of content and player driven content to the game. They didn't have to do any of that. I reached this point again and again where I'm like, it's a decade. They were well within their rights to shutter the doors and move on, and they're not. So it's just please keep that in mind.
My God, all of that you're just talking about, that's included in the price of Odyssey. You know what I mean? That's included in that DLC. There's still more, all the power play thing that's coming up included in the price of Odyssey. And the whole Thargoid War, technically, some of it you don't even need Odyssey for. There's a few things you could get at. Most of it, realistically, you need to have Odyssey for, but technically you could be participating in some way. And then on top of that, the fucking Python Mark II is available to buy if you didn't buy Odyssey. They pieced it out for you. That is wildly. You know what? In case somebody still doesn't want to buy Odyssey, you can still buy the Python Mark II set. You can buy it separately without owning the content that it's created for.
Which they didn't have to.
It's not that expensive.
Amazing.
Well, frankly, Odyssey is so cheap. You should just you really shouldn't be taking them up on that deal. You should just be buying Odyssey. But
Yes.
anyway, the point is you have the fucking choice. It's unbelievably generous.
Aren't there Steam sales where they pay you to download Odyssey?
There are not, but thank you for the question.
And then just to help move this along a little bit, there are literally 4 things included in all of these updates that could be considered air quote pay to win. And I'm using the air quotes so heavily that it doesn't even count. Because the jumpstart ships, if you look at how they're built, are just that. It's a jumpstart. Yeah. It's not meta. It's just getting you past a couple barriers so you can go do thing with your friends. That's it. And that is absolutely fine.
On that, actually, I know you were going to continue. The jumpstart ships cost 25,500 arcs. How much do ship kits and paint jobs cost? Like just generally at this point?
Generally, ship kits are 1,300 to 1,600 arcs, which is about $12.
Is that the new price?
1,000. Yeah,
or 1,000. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yep.
So
as far as I know, that's the new price. Yeah.
My point is that 25,500 is. Oh my God!
What? Are you okay? Are you still alive?
With you.
Okay,
I know that. I know what that was. That was blowjobs for arcs.
Oh my God! Okay.
Oh my God!
Anyway,
keep going.
The 25,500 is a ship with a couple of modules bolted to it. Maybe something that you don't have to unlock that unit of. But mostly it's the cosmetics that's coming, pre-installed on the ship, which cost, 3/4 of that price anyway.
Yeah, if anything, you're actually getting a deal on the ship and the kit. Because if you got it, because like arcs wise, if you got the ship kit separately, the ship kit would be more arcs than it would be if you got it bundled with one of the pre-starts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it seems like the right call. They know that there's no massive influx of players that they're gonna suddenly like make aware of the game. And they know that. So like what else is on the table if you're not gonna get a bunch of purchases of game, you gotta do something like this.
Yeah.
If you guys Grover or Oblivious? Yeah. I want to make sure I'm leaving time for you.
No, just what everyone said, like it's not that expensive. We're not throwing money at stuff like people have done with Star Citizen or
mobile games.
The ships aren't that expensive, and it's optional, and it doesn't actually give you,
any advantage.
So those pre-built ones don't give anyone an advantage, and they've locked it down so you can't like do a pre-built and then that's a good way to get a Class 4 Guardian FSD booster. No, because I can only use it on that ship. So it's what I think is it's emblematic of the passion that people have for the game.
Mm-hmm.
That such emotive kind of responses come out. It's the same kind of passion that people have when they storm off in a huff and quit the game because they are so invested in it that they feel like they have a right to dictate or say how the game should be run. But really, if there's a company, we all support it. People that like I went out and bought arcs after the announcement of the latest update because I thought, okay, I've got so much value out of this game and what you've told me I believe in, so I'm going to support you that way.
If you want to feel like you have control over the direction of the game, go buy FDev shares. Seriously.
I still think we should do
hard
that.
to do.
I still think we should get at least like 1%. How many people to get together to get 1% of the company?
Depends how long we wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, where I draw the line with this, I'm like, dude, just like your local yokel that's passionate about your sports team. Cool. But at the same time, passion does not excuse all associated behaviors or expressions about the topic. And when people are like, I saw a guy who was like, well, people are just arguing and critical because they're so passionate. I'm like, cool, great. Yeah. But when your hockey team lost, please don't go burn the local boutique. Please don't go turn over our car. Like, just being passionate about it should not give you a like blinders as far as the context and what the thing actually means. So if just a little reason, people, a little context, please.
Yeah, don't burn down FDev. I still need pillows for my carrier.
There's a little bit of crowd mentality and all that too.
Exactly. A lot of vitriol piling on. So we're going a little long on this subject. I'll just wrap it up and saying red paint jobs, baby. You got to try them. It tracks you need to go retest your burst lasers with a red paint job.
What red laser color, right?
It
There you go.
reduces,
Well,
it reduces the jitter of inertial impact.
Yeah, faster
Oh my
laser.
God.
Right, yeah.
Sorry about that outburst.
That's all right. Is everyone okay?
You alive?
Yes, I didn't
I think
realize
we're
my
good.
wife was standing behind me talking to me, and she
Scared
pulled
the
my
shit out of
headphones
you.
off. Yeah, she scared the piss out of me.
We need
That
to
was
clip.
so funny.
We need to clip the noise that came through and make that a soundbite.
Well, and then right after, and you guys didn't hear this, so I know this is off topic, but it was hilarious. But you need some context. So my son has a cat that stays in his room, right? And
A room cat.
well, I mean, he goes and he sleeps in there with David, and he hangs out in there, and that's where he hangs out at. But he doesn't have a litter box or food or water in there. And so at night, we're always having to open the door so he can come out to go to the litter box and to get food and things. Well, my wife bought a little cat door that we installed on his door, on my son's bedroom door. So the door, it's got a little door at the bottom that the cat can go in and out as it needs to. And this cat, his name is Hades. He likes to get the dogs to chase him because he's faster than them and he knows they will. And he gets a joy out of it. And so he constantly has them chase him down the hallway. But now he has this cat door. He ran into the cat door, and Patches was chasing him. And Hades darted right through the cat door, and Patches went wham right into the bedroom door.
Oh
He's
no!
like, you are too big for the cat door, and did not realize it.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Well, I
Oh,
must
that's
say that
excellent.
sound was perfectly timed to allow me to throw out what I threw out, which was
And go ahead.
the only reason I came into the stream, so I could
Oh,
say
so good.
blowjobs for arcs.
There you go.
And I blame Oblivious who sparked the idea when he suggested a GoFundMe for arcs.
Go funny.
I'm really
Yeah.
disappointed. I don't have any contributions there yet. So.
Really? Nobody's wow, I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
And in this economy,
Mm.
It's because you spelt OnlyFans wrong.
Oh, that's probably it. Yep.
But my arcs are paid for by my OnlyFans.
So the Python Mark II, huh?
Oh my God.
Yeah, how about
Well, all right. We will go on.
Too.
It's just, the ARC store is cosmetics, everybody. Like, literally no part of this game has been subtracted from you. If you never spend another cent on it, you'll still play the same game. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, all right. Moving on then. Update 18.04 actually
Yes.
is planned for Tuesday, May 7. And that is official. The part that the other stuff is stuff that we've just picked up from watching various of the partnered streamers telling us things. So, like, for example, SCO drives, the Super Cruise Overcharge Achilles FSD drives are going to be engineerable.
My adder is about to get a whole lot more ridiculous.
Yeah. There's also a couple of store UI changes, like there's a button on the station menus and stuff that takes you right to the store for easier access and stuff like that. And that's, of course, when Python Mark II early access will begin with that update. What I can't find, but somebody has mentioned to me a couple of times, but anyway, apparently there will also be different rated versions of the SCO drive, like an A-rated version, for example, instead of them all just being C, but that's not coming on the 7th. Only the C-rated will be available on the 7th, which is what we already have. It's just that they're engineerable. So anyway, I don't have a citation for that A-rated versions are coming. I guess I wasn't watching enough streams, but that's what I've been told. Is that jive with everybody?
What if you spent the 33,000 arcs to get the Python
Now
Mark II
that's
and the ship?
yes.
When you get
Skipping
the
ahead a little
A-rated.
bit, yeah. If you get the awesome pre-built Python Mark II Stellar Edition for 33,000 arcs, it does come with an A-rated SoC drive pre-installed.
Which you can engineer that one.
Yes, you can.
But you
And
can't
in
use
fact,
it
all
anywhere
of the
else.
all of the pre-built ships come with some things. Most of them come with like one engineered module or something that's sort of special and unlocked, but it doesn't give you the unlock for further engineering. Like it doesn't unlock the engineer for you if you didn't have them already, and you can't move that module anywhere else, although you can engineer those modules if you have access to the engineers. So
Exception
they're
to Guardian FSD booster.
well, but that's not engineerable anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So but you can do with them what you will as long as they're on that copy of that ship. They're perfectly good modules. There's nothing like wrong with them or anything. But so I guess everybody believes that we are going to eventually get A-rated, which means I don't know. I don't want to run out and go engineering a bunch of C-rated SoC drives, do I?
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe
there's
3 months to wait. Let's see. Maybe
Yep.
I'll do. It depends when these A-rated are going to come. I kind of think somebody who's
There's
willing
some
to
back
brave
and
the
forth
forum.
about the
Some-
A rating too. So
Somebody who's willing to brave the forum should bother Paul Crowther until he confirms when the other ones will be available. Like, give me a number of weeks or something.
To be
so
fair,
I'll decide if I
Darren-
want to spend the mats.
to be fair, Darren was on Lave Radio, and I would advise everyone go give that episode a listen. It was fantastic.
Great
Oh
show.
yeah.
And his answer to most of those kind of questions was go ask Paul. So that is official.
No, it was go ask Luke,
Or go ask Luke.
who was
sorry,
actually the developer on the thing that they were asking questions about at the time. But yeah, I mean,
PowerPoint.
Darren doesn't work for them anymore. But
Oh, goodness.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I was not going to let this go by without saying that. But yeah, Lave Radio had Darren Halil on as a guest, and it was an amazing conversation and fun and insightful, not only just about Elite in specific, but just about game development in general, which is a really fascinating topic. I'm not a developer or a coder of any sort, but one of my favorite YouTube channels has been all about game design from like a developer perspective, and I find it really, really interesting and has evolved my thinking on a lot of things, and I think helped me enjoy the games I play more. So,
I have some
likewise
some
with the Lave
textbooks on-
Radio episode.
I have some textbooks on game development if you want to read them.
That sounds horrible. Can you make them a YouTube video, please?
I probably could, but
Sitting in front
that
of the camera
requires
reading the book.
that requires a lot more work.
Yeah. This is why I want someone else to do it.
It's just a
I-
black screen on YouTube and Kev's
I-
voice. Introduction
I already-
to C#.
I already did it for college, like so.
Okay. Let's see. So that's update 1804. Pre-built ships. Let's rap about these, right? So you guys, I think last week talked about the two we knew about already: the AX Jumpstart and the Type 6 mining Jumpstart.
Right.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
and we now know what the other two are.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought it.
Well, wait, because one of them is a DBX, which is
Yes.
basically an exploration jumpstart,
Mhm.
which doesn't come with any okay, so it doesn't come with anything engineered, but it is correctly A or D rated, depending on the module, like you would want it to be for exploration, for long jump range, I should say, and it comes with a size 4 FSD booster installed. which is nice.
And the fourth is the one and only Python Mark II itself, set up in a
Oh,
combat
of course.
build
Yeah.
with
What's the fourth one I missed?
yeah, right. with engineered dirty drives on it, which is actually pretty nice.
Oh, really? Okay. That was not listed in the videos I watched.
Sorry about
So
that.
the Stellar.
I thought
Well,
it was
no,
included in there, and I just now see it's not. But yes, it has grade
Okay.
5 dirty with drag.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see that. I guess I watched Burr's video and a couple of other things. I didn't see that it had a engineered drive in it. It has so that's an SoC drive it comes with.
Yep.
So it's got dirty
it's
drag on the
basically,
or that's the thrusters. Oh my god.
yeah.
This is such a massive information dump of little details. I'm like scrambled about it. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah. So the Python Mark II Stellar Edition, which is the Python Mark II Combat pre-built that you can buy, it comes with the A-rated Python Mark II, including the new SoC drive. It comes with 3 large multi-cannons and 2 medium pulse lasers. Or no, sorry, 4 large multi-cannons
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
2
say.
medium pulse lasers. Its special engineering thing is that it comes with engineered dirty thrusters as well on it, which will help your cause for combat. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's a good move. And the A-rated SoC drive, the secret super special feature that they talked about the Python Mark II having is apparently that it just responds better to an SoC drive.
Yes, something about how the ship is shaped or how its FSD works versus its mass. We don't really know the details yet, but it hardly generates any heat using the SoC drive. And boy, that thing can zip across a system fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I kind of imagine that some of that has to be the A-rated drive as well.
Yeah, me too.
But FDev has confirmed that it is also, it's not just that. Like
It's its
Python
special
Mark II
feature.
actually performs better with it. Fuel consumption should be the same, but handling in heat is a little better or something like that.
I was in Psychit's stream when she was testing it, and Zach made an appearance in there to confirm that, yes, that is the special feature of the Python Mark II.
Right.
All right.
I legitimately thought it was going to be a ship interior.
You didn't.
I'm swear to God, I'm so naive.
I'm so sorry,
thought-
Daxie.
I was so impressed with the ship releases and all this stuff, and I got wild-eyed and rose-colored glasses, and there's a little part of me inside that thought, oh man, they heard us. It's going to be a ship interior.
And if you ask me, all of this still pales in comparison to ARF dropping, oh, by the way, T8 March 29th, and then out.
Yeah.
He didn't say that. Lark, he said the next ship will be the Type 8. He didn't say anything about March 28th. You made that up.
May 29th?
Yeah, it was.
That was an invention.
Yeah, it was just
okay. Well, my bad.
Why are you making shit up?
Point is, Type 8,
dude,
I snooze.
ARF is in his.
How many ARCs did you buy in preparation for those ship interiors?
Let's not talk about it.
That's a good question.
Dude, ARF is in his don't give a fuck era. That man is living his best life.
That was expert.
Don't give a fuck.
I love it.
Yep. By the way, it's Type 8. Bye. Yeah.
And then me and Volt proceeded to freak out for like the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an emotional roller coaster it is being in the Elite Dangerous community, huh?
Mm-hmm. It is. All right, let's take apart this Python Mark II a little bit. So what we've got comes with an SoC drive, and it handles it better. 4 large hard points, 2 mediums. Okay, so basically the original Python adding a 4th large hard point.
It's a hunter.
That's a lot of damage.
Here's the thing. We've got size 6 reactor, drives, and distributor, and a size 5 FSD. So we've got a size smaller reactor and distributor than the original Python. Which is what makes that's what makes the Krites and the Python so multi-role. right? To be able to handle anything. It's those massive, massive distributors and reactors. So it doesn't have that. But we got 6 utility slots, and much more lightweight frame, faster.
It's a lot
optionals.
faster.
It's got, instead of having, what does the original Python have? Have 3 size 6
I'll look
slots
it
or
up.
just 2? I haven't compared them head to head. The new one's got 1 size 6, 1 size 4, a 3, a 2, and then 3 size 1s.
The original's got 3 6s, 2 5s,
Okay.
4, 2
That's what I
3s, a
thought.
2 and a 1. Yeah.
So hugely lower cargo capacity or armor, depending on how you want to look at it. But the way I look at it, I make my combat ships to move because I don't like getting shot. You know how you don't die? Don't get shot.
So this ship feels like
I see a stack of size 1 optionals, like a bunch of small optionals, like on, say, the Vulture, and that's a ship that I can make fast and extremely tough, because that's where you load up those size 1 hull reinforcements, and you build up your resistances that way with the engineering. In fact, most of the time I will put undersized hull reinforcements in slots on combat ships to keep them lighter, let the resistances do the work. That's it. That's my piece. I think it looks brilliant. The trick, it's going to be fun to build, because the trick is going to be fitting all those guns into that reactor and figuring out how to manage your pips.
Yep. In my opinion, it kind of leans itself toward 2 things. And that's sustained fire from kinetic weapons, or making it to be a jouster with something like a bunch of plasmas, frag cannon, something like that. So you're just going back and forth, but doing huge damage every time you make a pass.
Dude, with that size 6 distro, I'm just going to pop gimbaled multis on it. I bet you even gimbaled with 4 overcharged large multi-cans, you could just shred.
Yeah. Well, for kicks, earlier today, I opened up ED Shipyard, which doesn't have the Python Mark II in it, but I just threw a Type 10 up there and filled in the modules the way it was meant to be, right? The correct size reactor and drives and distributors, so that I can engineer them and know how much power they're taking up, and then fill the 4 large and then 2 mediums. And I got all 6 plasma accelerators in there with plenty of room to spare. And yes, that distributor can fire those constantly for 6 seconds with 2.
Jesus.
So I mean, I didn't use like long range beam lasers or anything, in every slot, but I think there's going to be room. And so I guess it's just a matter of getting your hands on it and seeing what is the flight characteristics like, yaw to pitch and so
according
on.
to
How much boost lag is there and stuff like that.
Yeah, according to Scikit, she kept saying that it handles like a fat FDL.
Okay.
So in my mind, that draws a comparison to like how the Viper Mark III handles versus how the Viper Mark IV handles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those both have. Well, that's interesting, because those are FDL and Vipers are ships with a lot of boost lag.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And that was something she actually said, I believe, was that she did notice the boost lag, but when it did boost, she only had her drives like either grade 3 or high grade 4, I think, with no experimentals. And she was boosting up into the like 560s, 570s with it. So that thing is fast.
Yeah, you could make a pretty juicy AX ship out of it as well. Obviously, it'll be a nightmare for interceptors, probably. I've definitely flown harder to orbit ships than that and had an okay time with it. I'm sure, it's not going to dethrone the Chieftain as far as orbiting is concerned, but firepower will be crazy. And Titans, I don't know, I'll figure out how to take it into a Titan. It won't be as easy as a Krite, but I'll be able to bring 4 missiles.
And I didn't notice because the default build it came with for the partners is a pretty low heat build with those pulse lasers and multi-cannons. So when you like really load it up, I don't know what the heat is going to look like on it. Maybe it's too hot to be a really good AXer. I don't know yet, but
It's got
Yeah.
6 utility mounts, so you can be loading it up with a bunch of heat sinks.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. The distributor size affects that a lot. That's why Krites are so much easier to do than the sea ships in Titan space.
Heck, even
right?
a
Because
Python if you're brave.
a Python would be fine, absolutely, of course.
Yeah.
Not as quick, but it would be fine because you can do low emissions on your reactor.
Because you have
And still
so
have enough
much
power for
good.
things. So you probably can't get away with that with only a size 6 reactor. And you have to be more careful with your pips with only a size 6 distributor, right? But I don't know, the missiles aren't that power hungry. Yeah, I mean, maybe you I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Hey, I just had a fun AX thought for the new Python Mark II. You know how Ramtaw came out with those really stupid 20% less Guardian weapons
Yeah.
that actually work
Yeah.
like near a Titan?
We don't
Well, what
talk
if you
about
use
that.
the Python Mark II? Then you have 20% more large plasmas.
Yeah,
That's
but
why they
the
put it in
serious
the game.
the serious missiles have more damage.
I know. I was trying to make a joke. It didn't land.
with less distributor draw too. I mean that's what it
Wow,
really comes
wow.
down to is you can use plasma chargers or shards in there and be okay. It's the distributor draw that's going to kill you because you're going to start overheating from secondary effects.
You're going to suck that
But-
distributor inside out trying to charge
Yeah.
4 large plasma chargers at a time.
The thing that they actually successfully used it for is this the hours between when the Titan is in meltdown before it blows up. There are interceptors and a lot of Orthruses just pouring out of the maw, running for their lives.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's when they brought fully loaded, like size 3 original plasma chargers, modded, or actually they were using shard launchers, modded from Ramtaw,
Nice.
and just stood outside the maw and mowed them down. And they were clearing 2 billion credits in an hour easily.
Jesus.
I need to get in on that for Hadad. Note to file.
So very short, like by a big margin. That they just with a pair of them, just with two people in there, they were cleaning up. So that seems to be the only legitimate use for Ramtaw's mod, because otherwise the guns we already had are better. So don't
For
waste
now.
the mats. Yeah, for now, I don't know. Find something or make the mod better, or be able to mod the guns that are actually good. But we don't need any of the high accuracy guns that we use for interceptors because the core doesn't move. Pointless.
It's also humongous.
yeah, it's silly. So
I'm
So
really
back to
excited.
Mars,
to
I
see
Here's
that.
the thought. Just like the grade C on engineer SCO was the first one in. Do you think they eventually mod that too? So by like the last couple Titans, it's just all hands on deck, all AX weapons, and they just clean house. They could do it. Right? We have 8 Titans. They could. By the 8th Titan, we're gonna be like, okay, we get
Yeah.
it, guys. They could tweak that for our sake.
By the
Just
8th
for
Titan, it's
funsies.
everyone get your orca. Let's go hunting.
Yeah, honest to God, like by the 8th one, it's like, okay, fine, just go nuts, go crazy.
I'm of the opinion that it's kind of bad gameplay to just make it so that we can to take away all the impediments. But at a certain point, how many times have we done this, and does it really matter anymore? I'm thinking back to when the caustic sink launchers and the other thing, like when the unlocks were removed from those, right when I guess it was right when Tyrannus became vulnerable.
Yeah, when
The
they're
torpedoes,
like, everyone
and
get
so
in.
they removed the impediment to it, and it was like, oh, I mean, I went through all this work, and then these people don't have to they get the free unlock. But I think it was Meccan again who kind of pointed out that like the point of that gameplay loop doesn't exist anymore. It was to have fun exploring Titan space, and that's old. That doesn't exist anymore, and it won't at all soon. Now we're going in to try to hurt them. Like that's an earlier part of the story. So it was from a gameplay perspective, not from a realism perspective or a fairness perspective, but from a gameplay perspective, it made no sense or it served no purpose
Yeah.
is a better way of saying it.
And
to
heck,
have
from an
those unlocks
in-character
there.
perspective, it makes sense that the people behind the war trying to keep commanders going would be like, yeah, come get it. Let's go get this thing.
I mean, in
Well-
a certain way, it's going to be like someone, once the Python Mark II is available to everyone in game, they're going to be like, well, what the heck? I paid real life money for this.
Oh my
no,
god!
everyone has one. FDEB's devaluing my money I spent.
I think that is 100% likely to happen.
You're gonna hear
The
it.
moment when inflation comes
my
to the
God.
elite.
That's it. It's like
That's it.
That's
mark
when I
this
cruise
day.
by in my Cobra Mark IV.
Just flipping off out the window.
Oh my god! You're absolutely right though. Guaranteed,
Yeah.
some
Someone's
dingus
gonna
is
say.
gonna be like, "Hey,
What the heck? I paid real money for what everyone else gets for credits. Yes.
Like, well,
time
that's on
moves
you, buddy.
Time moves on. Entropy is inevitable. Let's just move on.
pay to no longer be the winner."
Yeah.
As we all march slowly.
That's the show title.
There it is.
There it is. Pay to no longer
I
be
want
the
to write
winner.
it down.
Okay.
Way to lose.
Uh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
There's nothing new under the sun. Or in
Seriously,
space.
I'm going to be taking the Python out exploring Mark II.
Do it.
Nice.
I think it looks great. I don't know. You could probably make an explorer out of that. Let's see. What do we got?
Not a pure explorer. Like, I'll take it out with my carrier
Yeah.
because there'll be places that I want to go to, and all the planets that I want to go to are 400,000
Yeah.
light seconds away or something.
You
So
can- you-
okay,
you
let's
put an
jump
SCO
in that
on
and
yeah. Put an
and
SC on it.
yeah.
Plunge into the Great Annihilator at 5,000 times the speed of light.
So I mean, what you want on that? Let's build it. Let's build it right now. What you want on that? You want the size 4 to have your FSD booster. You may as well throw a size 6 scoop because you're going to be scooping. Oh, you're going to be scooping. We got a 3, a 2. You can put a couple of small AFMs on there. You can put collectors. What else do you need?
SRVs.
Yeah.
SRV. There's a size 2
Amazing.
slot.
Yeah.
There you go.
Four large cannons.
No, this is Grover, not me.
It would just all mines. The whole
All
6 mine
mines.
launchers. The defensive weapon of the true explorer.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
Yep.
Just dropping shock mines everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Off on all the bacteria.
There you go. Take that, alien scum.
Yeah, man, it looks
Bubbles.
good. It's a lower mass ship than some of the others. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've taken the regular Python out, and that's because it's a nice ship to fly. It's predictable, and its biggest problem with exploring, that's not going to get the longest range. It's got a big footprint, so if you're trying to find a place to land on, it's perfectly acceptable. It's a nice place to be.
As far as explorers go, the Python Mark I is basically the Class A RV towing another Class A RV of the elite world.
I don't know what any of that
what-
you just said, but it
Why?
sounded great, man.
No, it's
Yeah.
the big RVs that are like the size of semi trucks and just go forever.
Oh, okay. Can you drive those with a standard driver's license?
No, you have to take a class.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you pass by a beluga.
Sorry,
Mhm,
Trax, you
mhm.
don't have the cert on your driver's license. You're going to have to van life it.
No, I got a motorcycle cert though. That's what I'll take out. Explore. That's how
Hey,
I would
there you go.
explore. I mean, I'd backpack it. Absolutely.
Which is a perfect segue to the exploration build, because it is kind of the motorcycle of explorers.
Is it? Yeah. So DBX. I haven't seen it myself, but I'm told that it's correctly A and D rated with an FSD booster. That's a great little machine.
It is, and because it's an easy ship to get into anyway, so anyone going out exploring, it's
So
often.
you're saying pre-buying it is valueless because it's so easy to get into.
Well, no, I guess the value of it is probably the Guardian booster, which
Right,
last week I was a bit salty about, saying I wouldn't want it, but actually now that I thought about it, Yeah, it's not too bad. It's the largest that you can put in a DBX, so you're not
Yep.
going to get a size 5. But if you do want to go out exploring, it's a great kind of first exploration ship.
Absolutely, and it'll get you to the Guardian sites, so you can unlock the FSD boosters and other stuff for yourself. Easy.
Yeah, it'll get you out to farm mats, no problem at all.
Mhm.
So I think it's a great little ship. There's
SRV
people
in that guy.
yeah, no
Awesome.
problem at all.
Nice.
The biggest problem with it is like slow fuel scooping in that, but
Right,
It gives
'cause
you
you'd
time
only
to scan
have,
system.
I guess, a size 3 scoop, but
yeah,
it doesn't have that big a tank, so it's not that bad.
no, it doesn't have a huge tank, but you just change your exploration kind of gameplay to suit both your style and the ship you're flying. So if you got aspects, you've got a really decent size fuel tank, and you can do a bunch of jumps. But for me, my gameplay style is to scoop at every star anyway. So
Right.
because I just sit in a nice place where I can be scanning the planets while my fuel scoop's doing its thing, and as long as I don't overheat.
Yeah, with me, it's
Mhm.
every star that's scoopable. I'm sorry, but I'm going to swipe
Oh,
left
you-
on those systems with brown dwarfs.
You don't scoop the non-scoopables?
Shut up.
Okay. Got him.
He'll never recover.
That's pretty good. I'll admit that. You got me.
What other thoughts about Python McTwo's?
Python McTwo's. I love it.
As a general note, I love that they had it with like they had it with a grand purpose in mind. It wasn't just like, oh, here's another cargo ship variant. It wasn't like just another combat ship. It was paired with the mechanic. And I really think the overcharge is going to inject a lot of life into the game and the dynamic of it. So I love that there was that kind of holistic vision, and it wasn't just like, oh, here's another like shoving something out the door to keep us happy. It was not that. And not that Frontier ever really does that, but again, like after 10 years, even if they got lazy, you could be like, okay, well, yeah, it's been a decade, but they're not. So again, I'm optimist prime, but I love that it at least had that angle and not just some lazy like trinket to keep us satisfied.
And I can't wait to fully engineer one of those SCO drives and like go out like medium range exploring with it in my Viper and fly overheating as a fireball past the target at warp whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can get anywhere near up to, I mean, well, whatever. I'm not picky. I put some of my combat ships have garbage FSDs on them because I'm trying to like save the weight or whatever, and I don't care. They never jump anywhere, but I've really enjoyed it. I threw a couple on ships that I was jumping around with for some BGS work, and yeah, definitely. It's cool, and I think, let's see, A rate and engineerable, it's going to be not as good, right? As a non, it's not as good range wise as a regular FSD.
For like the deep space guys, they'll probably still want just a straight up engineered A rated.
Maybe, but honestly, like
for the
Grover was
utility.
saying, I mean, you don't.
True.
Okay.
What's 5 light years?
What you don't want it for is the quick haul trip to Colonia, right? But if you're actually just out doing things, it's the best drive for that, right? Assuming it has enough jump range, assuming you clear 30 light years, right? Or 40 is real comfortable.
Yeah, 30 is the minimum for me for explorers. I can comfortably explore with a 30 light year range.
Absolutely.
I bet you a year from now, the FSDs we use now are the niche, and SCO is the standard.
I expect that.
And Sirius Corp is going to wonder what the frick happened to their stock.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're going to start asking. Asking the Alliance, can you guys give us an advance on some of that
Right?
AX defense money
Serious-
that we work so hard for?
is now the BlackBerry of Elite Dangerous.
You're gonna see a bunch of
Used to be on top.
banner ads and
feel to be-
stations for those what are them called, the pack hounds. Hey, you guys remember
Yep.
pack hounds, right? They're fantastic. They're
You're gonna
like an
see
old friend. Shoot pack hounds like your papa did.
You're going to see serious execs with a sign, will work for food.
The serious execs are going to start trying to put FSDs into the Packhound missiles. Just
Oh, no,
missiles
here's
flying
something.
faster than light all over a
Here's
system.
something, right? Who needs to interdict your target when you can shoot them with a missile that's faster than light?
When you can nuke them from Colonia.
Disco,
it's-
keep up the message.
Just make sure you have those engineered thrusters to catch up to it once you find the
Mhm.
signal.
Yep. And who knows? We don't know what. I mean, they've alluded to mechanics with the new power play as far as being aware of what other players are doing. I would be shocked if there was like some kind of real UI in-game update as far as like when another player was in a stronghold system. But if you're in your new Python Mark II, you can race over and give them trouble.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
That'd be
it's not going to be. It's
I know
it's
it's not,
that
but it'd be cool.
that UI bar where you can see sort of the tug of war of what's going on
Yeah.
in the system. You can see what powers are
Yeah.
doing the tugging, so you know who to go mess with in
A
return.
man
And-
can dream. Someone wants
Yep.
to come give me a tug. No, wait, never mind.
Wait,
Never mind.
wait.
no.
Whoa.
And so
Where's-
we're on to Community Corner then.
Yeah.
So Buckyball's on now, everybody. It's the Sidewinder Cup. Get with it. Apparently, you have to fly under something. I think there's only a couple more days in this race. I think it ends this weekend. So
Yeah.
you got to fly under the arch at Dav's Hope or something like that.
Yeah. And so far,
Or
there's
little
been
stuff.
spectacular little gifs of people exploding, hitting the stupid sign. It's so good.
That sounds so awesome.
You'd be surprised just how far the wreckage can fly when a Sidewinder hits it at like Mach 2.
It's when you have the frame of reference of being near objects on the ground, right?
Right,
It's like
exactly.
the thing of like a plane in the sky versus a plane at the horizon.
It's
It's
like,
that
oh,
effect,
that's still
but in Elite
going.
Dangerous.
Oh my. It's good
yes.
stuff though. Indigo's going to be hosting the race next month, so everyone get in on the Sidewinder Cup shenanigans. It's fun stuff.
Mhm,
That's why
mhm.
that was called the ring toss. So we've got to have a little internal competition there.
Oh, absolutely.
All the screws. We'll see who does the best out of that.
Yeah, I've been talking with Indigo. Don't worry, I will be making that loose screws race event. It's
There we go.
coming.
All right. I know you mentioned last week, but oh man, for a second there, I was almost going to attempt to pronounce it. I'm not going to do that. The French Elite Dangerous podcast
Danger
has, yeah,
That's how we say it in the South.
What's the name of the French Elite Dangerous podcast?
It's Elite Danger Moose.
It's Danger Row. Danger Row.
You just, it's just Elite Dangerous said really French.
Elite Danger Row.
And
now, that
lost
we've,
all of
now
France.
that we've offended them,
Yeah, better you than me.
Poissons. Sorry.
They've expanded and updated a tool for creating the fan-made adventures that are done through a database tool in their website. Follows your progress in the game. Lots of fun, fantastic stuff. There's a tool now where people can create them, and then they'll be looked over by the powers that be over there for some quality assurance to make sure everything's working right, and they can be hosted up there with all of the other ones. So get out and design your own adventures. The more designers, the better, right?
Yeah, and I know I write as a hobby. I believe Teflon does as well. And I actually have been looking into that to maybe get some sort of lore-related something or story done for Screw Space, but it's still cooking.
I do write as a hobby, yeah.
Sweet.
I just don't talk about it on the show because I don't want people to expect to be able to read anything.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's
Wow.
okay.
You just straight up doxed him right on this show, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
we just called them out. I feel
Cover
bad.
blown.
You just fucking threw me out there.
Yep.
just blew up my spot.
Yep.
It's all good.
Oh, well.
I don't actually care.
Okay, bon.
Well, that's about all I've got.
Mhm.
So
I should probably disable my DMs for all the ats that are coming my way, huh?
any other business you guys want to throw into this episode of the podcast before we get it out there?
Go buy Arcs, people.
Nah, I
What?
think I'm good.
Yeah,
Support,
there's-
support
buy Arcs if you
Oblivious.
want to. Oh yeah,
It's on me.
contribute to the GoFundMe for commanders in need. Commander Oblivious needs arcs to buy cosmetics with. As we all know, inflation being what it is in this post-pandemic world, the arcs are, cosmetics are more expensive than they've ever been, and it's just important to step up and help your fellow humans who need paint jobs
Beg to win.
and ship kits. Yeah. Beg to win.
Next to win.
That's the best.
God. That's it. That's it.
All right, guys.
Shut these machines down. That's
Yeah, let's get out of here.
We're not going to do better than that. Thank you all
Hold
for
the lever.
joining me. It was a good time, and I'll see you all later. Thank you to Audaxius and Grover Kiwi and Lark Shadow and Mad Def and Oblivious. It's been fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I love you.
Au revoir.
I miss you.
Homie.